Oh, hello. In today's video, we're going to have a look at the kill team content that's present in White Dwarf 400. I've said 67. It's 476. 476. Maybe I'll fix that before I upload the video, and now this will make no sense. But at some point during the process of making the video, there was a typo. Don't you feel lucky, people? Yeah. We know about the Sentries. I've made a video about the Sentries. I've shown off the leaks of the Sentries. There's more than just the Sentries relating to Kill Team in this White Dwarf. Now, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up or make anyone feel that they were clickbaited. It's not a new team, and there's no other rules content, but there is some quite interesting Kill Team content, so we're going to have a look at that. But I didn't feel it was right to photograph. I know I use a lot of scans and things of Games Workshop publications in my videos for review and commentary, but when all the value of the thing is a cool article, I don't feel as happy reproducing it as when it's rules content, because I think people are gonna. The rules are already on Wikipedia, and most people are going to buy the books anyway if they go to events and things for the rules. I don't mind putting the rules up there. I think putting an article up there so people can just stop and read it is a bit much. That's like maybe I'm wrong about that. Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, by the way, subscribe and all those things. And especially if you like the new format of the video, let me know so that I'll do more like this. Let's get into the review. Okay, so something a bit different. Actually, some video content in my video. Here is the current issue of White Dwarf. They've stopped putting it out. Issue 476. There we go. So this is the nice subscriber copy. Obviously, if you buy it in the shop, it'll have the bar down the side, and the text will be more visible. So inside, let's make sure it's all in the shop. This is all scary and new. Inside we will see, if we get to the contents page, there is a whole section here for Kill Team. So we've got Kill Team Unseen Lurkers, which is some fiction. It says here, in this short but violent story, a kill team of Katachan jungle fighters must destroy a Deathstrike missile launcher stolen by a warband of Deathskull orcs. Then, Kill Team Security Breach, we provide the rules for Sentries in Kill Team, plus 6 other missions for super sneaky operatives to try and get past them. And then finally, Kill Team Operation Briefing, do you know you're obscured from your concealed, your line of sight from your visible target. So let's have a little look at that. There's all kinds of other things in White Dwarf as well, but I don't want to be Man Reads Monthly Magazine on internet. That would not be fair to Games Workshop, would it, really? So, really interesting. This is, as you can see, it's, or as I hope you see, it's flagged as Kill Team Unseen Lurkers, and there's a story here about Katachan jungle fighters. I'm obviously not going to read you the whole story. We've got 2.5 pages of fiction and a couple of illustrations about Katachan jungle fighters. Now, the only reason I mention this is badged up as Kill Team. Is this a hint? There have been rumours for ages, which I've discounted a lot on this channel, about Katachan jungle fighters getting a plastic Kill Team in a Kill Team box, but I don't think it's very likely. But then again, the reason I didn't think it was likely was because we've already got a Vet Guard team. We already had a Chaos team, and now we've got a second bespoke Chaos team, so maybe Katachan Jungle Fighters team is on the cards, but it's just worth pointing out they have a sort of like I say, 2.5 page story about Katachan Jungle Fighter Kill Team in this month's White Dwarf. And then over the page, straight on to more Kill Team content. I love the art. Is it the best use of the page count in the magazine? Is it recycled art? I don't know, but I do quite like the treatment. I love the Krieg and the Orcs. That's cool. The classic Octarius stuff. And instant classic Octarius, right? Security Breach. So this is the preamble, right, to the rules that we've seen. I've done a whole video on these leaks. This is the preamble to the rules that we've seen on that. And I want to read some. I'm going to read some of this to you. Security Breach. Kill teams will often operate deep behind enemy lines, infiltrating hostile positions and working their way past sentries to complete missions as covertly as possible. Here we present new rules for using sentries in games of Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team. This paragraph is the interesting one. So this is fluff and background. Okay, if you want to read that, you buy the magazine. This paragraph is interesting to me. In this article, you will find the Critical Operations Sentries rule set. Critical Operations Sentries rule set, right, which includes rules for using sentries in your games of Kill Team plus 6 new missions in which to field them. The rules expand upon those found in Kill Team Morok. So, first of all, this is this month's White Dwarf. Does that mean that Morok is coming out this month? You'd think they could tie those things in together. I'm just saying. Okay? And can be used with any kill zone. So, it expands upon those found in Kill Team Morok and can be used with any kill zone, leads me to believe that the ones that we find in Kill Team Morok will be the Shadow Ops rules, that just like all the other boxes, it'll be the narrative play Shadow Ops rules where you get the Warcry style, or I guess we can now say the Shadow Ops style, the fixed layouts for using the terrain that comes in the box. These say they can be used on any kill zone, which means to me these are separate to that. Okay, giving even more ways to field your operatives. The sentries add a new element of risk and tension to a game, with a lone intruder sneaking past enemy sentries to perform dangerous covert actions before calling in the rest of their team. Completing covert missions like this single-handedly is virtually impossible. With a degree of skill and a bit of luck, a lone operative can significantly improve the team's chances of completing a mission. If all else fails, it's best to make sure they've got a combat knife handy. That would be cool if there was some risk to your lone operative. If you screwed it up, there was a chance that you had to play the game a man down. That would be awesome. That would really balance out the potential benefits of achieving the covert operations, and there'd be some risk to when you decided to end the covert operation and go straight into the battle. Unfortunately, there's no rule like that present. Over the page here, so again, this page be very familiar from the leaks, okay? But this page didn't leak either. Now, this is pointless. This is just saying you can roll a dice to decide which mission that you want to play. But this is quite interesting. On pages 44 to 49, you'll find 6 missions from the Critical Operations Sentries mission pack. These missions use a mission rule called Sentries, described on page 43, which offers a new challenge for both players. The scoring parameters of the mission objectives vary across the mission pack, so having an expansive roster will allow you to select the right operatives for the mission at hand. I didn't really find that. They've been designed so that tactical play is rewarded, therefore they are suited to matched play, but can be used with any of the 3 ways to play. So they explicitly say these are designed for matched play, which is why I think you might see them cropping up at Warhammer World, because that's the intention. I don't agree necessarily that they should be used in match play, having now actually tried one, but that is the intent. Okay, so then we've got the rules that I've already gone through, so I'm going to go through. If you want to close a look at these, have a look at my other video, I know what's in Kill Team Sentries, or now we know what's in Kill Team Sentries. So we got those rules there. Okay, and then we get this operation briefing. So this is Elliot, the sort of the head honcho for Kill Team, and this is his, his sort of column, his semi-irregular column, and this one is all about line of sight. Okay, and basically he's explaining his logic behind the line of sight system for Kill Team. So he starts off going, I'm not going to read it out, but I think that would be really disrespectful. This is exactly the kind of this isn't even rules content. If you're interested and you want to read this, go and buy the magazine. But just to make you know it's there, so if you wouldn't necessarily know it was there, so you wouldn't want to go out and buy it. This is very much a review and to encourage you, if you want to read this, to go out and buy the magazine. But line of sight, he talks about how important it is. He goes through the concept of the true line of sight. He goes through the concept of abstract line of sight. So this whole first page is basically just games design, background and parlance. And then he finishes here we decided to do was take the positives of each and create a new hybrid approach to line of sight. And then over the page, this will be very familiar to people that spend any time in Discords on the internet. So we've now got an official Games Workshop version of the handy line of sight flow diagram. Is the target visible? Yes, no. Is it obscured? Yes, no. You know, if it's not visible, it's not in line of sight. If it's obscured, it's not in line of sight. If it's does it have a conceal or engage order? If it's concealed, is it in cover? It's not in line of sight. Is it concealed? It's not in cover. It's in line of sight. If it's engaged, then it's in line of sight. But I've seen better versions of this online that actually run you through how to work out whether something is visible or whether it's obscured and actually define those as well. But it's funny for me to see that. So he talks about combining the two, and then why he decided to do that. Okay, or he always says we, so why they decided to do that, I guess. He's not like just written the game by himself. Explains again in a bit more detail what his view is on what the engage and conceal orders kind of represent in terms of the game, and why things are the way they are, and what he feels of that. I mean, really interesting read to people that are really interested in Kill Team. I don't feel particularly comfortable just sitting here and reading this out. Implementing the principles. So then he actually again tries to tell you more about how to do line of sight in Kill Team. Can you see the target? Is it visible? Is the target more than a circle from large, taller than the target, intervening terrain? Brackets obscured. Ignore parts of terrain within an inch of your operative. Imagine them peering around a window, ledge or corner as necessary. If they have a conceal order, is it more than a circle from your operative and within triangle of any intervening terrain or another operative? And then here's a flowchart, and then the end result, blah, blah, blah. And it basically says that the best thing to do is to go and play some Kill Team and try it out rather than discussing it. And it says here, you'll soon discover that determining line of sight is a fast, intuitive process with the above methods will suffice most of the time without needing to establish cover lines. But it doesn't sacrifice immersion or depth for those looking to sneak their operatives around the battlefield. Good. So, yeah, this is his kind of cheaty way of doing it without needing to worry about cover lines. Yeah, so he's basically giving you a rule of thumb. Perhaps it's an interesting thing to do. He's saying, is it visible? Can you see the target? Is the target more than a circle from large terrain? Ignore parts of terrain within an inch of your operative. And if they have a conceal, is it more than a circle from your operative and within black of intervening terrain? And that's a way of kind of rule of thumbing it. I think that's nice, but it could confuse some people. Yeah. And he goes on to say it's one of his favourite elements, etc. Good. So that's the end of that. And that's the end of the Kill Team content. So that's what I wanted to go through. So there's quite a lot. There's a lot of pages of Kill Team stuff, right? So if we go back through, the cards, by the way, are about Warcry this time around. If we go back through, that's gorgeous, by the way. Those are great, the Beastmen. I love White Dwarf. I flick through it on in the bathroom. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pages. Oh, see, it could have been like a new army list, a new set of team rules potentially, but alas, not to be. I will just say next issue, World Eaters update. So it doesn't say there is definitely Kill Team in the next issue, although World Eaters will be like headline news. So for 40k this is, so potentially, but I think they'll have a gap because I think Morok is going to be out at the end of this month. Let's see. Okay, so that's the end of my recording of the video, and let's go on to the next slide, please. Okay, well that was different. Please, more than ever before, let me know what you thought of the slightly different format and the use of video. Like I said at the introduction, I thought it was the best way to review White Dwarf, but having seen how my video actually looks, even though I have what promised to be a really nice high quality webcam, which I've used for important work-related activities during lockdown and so on, it wasn't the best, was it, at showing you? I mean, maybe that was by design, right? So it was potato cami, so you couldn't just read the White Dwarf text and like painfully screen grab it all and go backwards and forwards and read it. Just go and spend the $4.98 or whatever it is on the magazine. But if I wanted to do more of this in the future, I think I'd have to invest in a new camera, and that gets expensive, and blah 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 blah. I need to spend money on miniatures, or realistically on things for my new daughter, who will be with us in about 4 months. So maybe that's not going to happen, unless you want to send me some cash in a brown envelope, or realistically buy things from Element Games. That's a good way to support the channel if you want to improve the video quality. This isn't supposed to be a begging video, it's just I, having recorded that, realise how kind of terrible the camera is. Let me know what you think of the new format down below. Yeah, this is not a typical video, but if you really liked it, then subscribe to the channel and like the video and all those things. Cheerio, I hope you have a great rest of your day wherever you are and whatever you are doing.